Hello, you are with OnEBoard chat session on the tech topic that is our long chat. Today's topic is collaboration with NotebookLM. I'm Nina, I'm with Peggy and Bob. We actually on collaboration for many years, so we don't need NotebookLM to tell us if we are collaborating and how to collaborate. We are doing it. It's our session number 208. It's only on the presentations and how-to topics. And then we have the tech topic that is 10 minutes, 3 tips in 10 minutes. So what I wanted to start with is to introduce one slide that is I created to visualize our collaboration, because we often share a lot more than we can structure. And NotebookLM is recently introduced into classroom in universities to help teaching and learning. It helps educators to present the material in a more structured, easy way, more visualized, and also students to learn. This is our background. Next week, on the 6th of February, the Winter Olympics start, and I'll be watching I have tickets for the 18th of February. We'll be there at the stadium in the Dolomites. So the best example of team collaboration, that is the ultimate example, is the hockey team of the USA. That is an amateur team beating a professional team. Back historically, that's what Gemini replied to the best example of team collaboration. And I wanted to evidence the team collaboration we are doing just by this slide. I'll present now. So you see, we have shared a week ago 3 tips in 10 minutes where we presented how to add animated captions in video, how to refresh the introduction using NotebookLM, and then how to check use Gemini to check the video. With this slide, Notebook generated about our collaboration. You can see how on the one side it's the creator's flow, where the brand can present their messages via video, text, introductions, and on the other side is the consumer, what Bob visualized by the check of Gemini of the video we consume. So we are at the same time creators and consumers, each and every one of us. So if we created a video and use captions to amplify the brand, we're also consuming it, and we should be knowledgeable how to check it. This is a very interesting infographic about our collaboration that is already presented in that way. On the notebook, we are actually collaborating right now, and Peggy will explain how that is done. So
thank you, Nina. And I think that the way that you can share a notebook in NotebookLM to work collaboratively is going to look very familiar if you use Google Drive, Google Docs, Google Slides. It's very much set up in a similar way. I'll just show a slide really quickly here. And this is just to give you an idea of how you do it. If you're inside the notebook, you click the little sharing icon, and then it has a window that pops up, and you can choose who you want to share it with. This particular notebook, you can see that OnEBoard Network is the owner and that Bob and I are editors. You can enter other Google account email addresses or a Google group if your Google are signed into a Google Workspace account. So for personal accounts, you can only share with individuals, not a group of email addresses. And this particular notebook that we're working on is actually limited to internal for OnEBoard. So you can set that up if you're on Google Workspace. There is a whole article in the NotebookLM Help Center that explains about how private sharing works. So you can set people to be a viewer or editor, and a viewer can see the source documents and notes, but not generate any. Editors can do everything, and notebook owners and editors who have an upgraded access can share chat-only notebook to viewers and set a welcome note. You can actually see that OnEBoard has that option at the very bottom. So you can have it so that viewers can come into the notebook and only see the chat, AI chat, and not any of the sources or the notes that were generated. So those are the options that you have. What we're doing is private sharing. And I will also note that there is public sharing as well. You can grant viewer access publicly. If you go into NotebookLM, you'll see that there are a bunch of featured notebooks shared that way. You basically can then view those and play with them yourself, but the other people viewing that notebook, you're not working together, right? You're just generating your own notes. What we have done in our notebook is, since OnEBoard owns it and Bob and I have access, we can actually edit it together. So we see everything. We see all the sources. We can see everything that we've all generated there and add notes and access that. So that is truly collaborative that way, but that's private sharing rather than the public sharing.
Great, thank you. Very, very well explained. And I would note that adding resources and using notebook to research is practically endless, because from the resources you have added, I can select each resource, or I can select some and remove some resources, add others. And on the side of the research analysis, we have audio overviews, video overviews, flashcard, quizzes, reports. Reports are endless as well, because it also includes the sheet, the tables, the analysis, quizzes. You can write blog posts, create infographics like I demonstrated. And I also generated an audio overview. I'll speak after Bob explains his resources. What I most like for today's demo of collaboration is that I can select Bob's resources and use the flashcards, because it saves me time to understand why and what the most important information has Bob added. With a flashcard, it gives you questions and answers, so it accelerates my understanding. What is this about at first glance before diving in? And of course, it has deep research that I can generate, and we will be adding it with our recap article. I've never experienced a better collaborative tool. It can practically research everything, and it can be endless. Just one. Okay, Bob.
So I just wanted to say hello to folks who are watching live. In the chat, Andrew says he tends to collaborate with himself, and also he has been becoming a big fan of NotebookLM. So I think that It's a really useful tool for all the reasons that you explained. It's fantastic to be able to have a set of resources, a set of sources that it's using, and you can pick and choose those. One thing that I really like too is, you can upload, I think, for personal accounts, I think it's 50 sources. I think for workspace, it's more. But then once you're in the notebook, you don't have to use all the sources all the time. You can select subsets of those sources depending on what your project is.
Yeah, and we have a course about notebook. That's why I generated the audio overview, because it's the best explainer. I repeat, it's added into classroom as the ultimate learning and teaching experience, because it structures the content in the context so much easy to comprehend. Okay, Bob, you added about gems, I saw. Can you
Yeah,
explain why did you choose that resource?
yeah. Let me just first of all address Peggy. The number of sources you can have with a workspace account is 300. And
Wow.
Andrew, this is for you, dude.
But if you remove some and add others, it can rotate. So
Yeah, in fact, even if
limit.
you hit the 50 or 300, you can create another notebook. That's how you get around all of this. You don't have to worry about being limited by sources, okay? And yeah, Andrew, you said that you work kind of with yourself. Well, the reason to use Notebook is that it is going to be a brain that's going to reflect what you're interested in, and you can tap into that whenever you want. Obviously, it doesn't have consciousness, but it's going to be able to do all sorts of things that could be time consuming and tedious for you, like compiling, condensing. And then every time you find something of interest, you add it to Notebook, and the brain becomes smarter every time. In fact, this is the reason for doing something called Gemini gems. And a gem will basically work in concert with NotebookLM, and the gem will consider the NotebookLM the brain or repository of knowledge in which it's supposed to act on. So this is the beauty of it. It's an agent of types, and I actually ask it. I ask NotebookLM, hey, we would like to. That means we OnEBoard, we would like to up our game when it comes to doing podcasts and so on. Can you give us a script to instruct a gem on how we can go about doing this? And Peggy might be able to show that prompt that I put in there and the resulting script that came out of it.
Let me see. Should I just share the notebook here on screen so people can see what we've got?
No problem. Yes, please.
See if it'll work. Yeah.
I hope it doesn't disrupt the live stream, because it's live demonstration. It's not a slide. Okay.
I have this screen minimized, so let me.
It's in resources and.
So you can see that it automatically makes a summary of the sources. We have the options to create audio, video, mind map, reports, flashcards, quiz, infographics, slide deck, or a data table. That's a lot of options there, and you can write a prompt for any of those.
We've been working already 2 years or more. Each week we use the briefing to describe the video after we stop the live stream. So we have a lot of experience already with the notebook, but the collaboration is really fantastic. So I think on the notebook, Peggy, NotebookLM in the sources, and that's where you click to see the prompt Bob did. Here, it's a video. It's a video.
I am not seeing the prompt you did. It should be in the chat.
Yeah, actually, if you think you look into notes, it might have it there, Peggy.
Okay. If you look
Yeah.
at the notes, let's see, we created a bunch of notes: briefing, feature quiz, flashcards.
Let me see. I think if you click on
Yes,
it,
that's it right there. That's the note that it produced from the prompt. Although it's not showing the prompt, basically I ask Notebook and to create, you know, the language or the narrative in which to direct. There you go.
It includes the prompt as well.
And you can see in the left-hand side that it's beautiful. It says there's the instructions you give Gem. And Gem, when you introduce that into Gem, automatically that AI will be produced and will use Notebook as its source for making decisions or giving you guidance. So it's really beautiful. In fact, the really strength of collaboration is that, let's say that I find something that I don't think Nina and Peggy know, I can add it as a source, click on flashcards and help them get up to speed on what that means. So they're learning.
Exactly.
So, I mean, this is the beauty behind it, that it, you know, as a one-stop shop, basically, you know, everybody will be on the same page just by, you know, going there and actually clicking on a certain, you know, feature that you want or product that you want to produce.
Yeah, can you imagine how valuable this is for an enterprise when they pile on knowledge and about being flexible with understanding the changes on market, changes in production lines. This is absolutely unbelievable how it's genuine. It's
Right.
really not a machine brain that is a must for today's conditions, because they are so dynamic. And if you wish, we can watch the video together.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good job, Peggy. Thanks for bringing that up. That was great.
So I wanted to just mention, this is the power of having a collaborative notebook that we can all access and edit, so we can all share our work with each other using the same set of resources.
Yeah, we have a lot of notebooks already. We can expand on some of the learning and visualizing. If we wish, we can publish content each other second. It's so exuberant with visuals and analysis and gems and agents and everything. So
I think one of the things, again, talking about doing collaborations, so as we saw, Bob created this great prompt to create the gems, and I look at that and I think, well, maybe it's missing a little something. What I can do is tweak the prompt then easily and have it do it again, you know, just adjusting things if I feel like that's necessary. We can save both of them and decide which one is the most useful for us.
Right.
So it's great for collaborative work.
Yes. And it has a chat. So if Bob says, no, this is not the direction I want this research to take, we wish to be focused on, for example, 2025 resources, to limit them, to frame them, and we can chat and show you, because research and work and visuals, and it's really important to stick to some frame for our human purposes, is because machines, they don't know limits. We have some limitations of resources and understanding, even as a team. That's the example of the Olympics. They also, like the ultimate example of collaborative resources for Olympics goals. So let me share this video. We will upload it in our playlists.
So Nina, this is a video you made using the video overview option in the notebook.
Yeah, do you see it?
Not
No.
yet.
No, I have not shared it. I wonder what's the I embedded it in a slide. I think it will play
Nina, let me
easily.
check and see, since I can share.
It's enlisted,
Okay,
Peggy.
Nina, is it AI hack to AI superpowers?
It's yes, absolutely.
Okay, just a moment.
All right.
Okay, you can share it from YouTube better, not from a slide.
So again, this is our list of
Do you think it will
various
play from
notes that were
this
created.
resource? I think it's because it's already on YouTube. It will.
I think so. Give me just a second here.
Okay.
To,
I mean, look how great that is. Every time you ask or prompt it, it creates a note, and those notes are saved, so nothing is ever lost whenever you want to reflect on something that you already did.
Yes, but this will not be a big screen, Peggy, so maybe it's better that we share it from YouTube. Huh?
For some reason, it doesn't want to be full screen. That's just, okay. You guys ready?
Yeah, fire away.
It's
Here we
5
go.
minutes,
those-
so you can scroll a little bit faster some parts.
AI tools you use every day, well, they've got a hidden superpower. And in this explainer, we're going to unlock it, turning some simple tricks into a personalized AI that works just for you. So just imagine for a second, what if your AI assistant wasn't just some generic tool, but a true expert on your business, your data, your customers? That's what we're going to build today, starting with a simple win and ending with a total game changer. All right, so here's our game plan. We'll kick things off with a quick win you can literally use in the next 5 minutes. Then we'll cover some smart shortcuts, a critical thinking tool, and finally, we'll build your very own personalized AI brain. Okay, let's dive right in with our first tip. This is a super quick win that can have a massive impact, especially if you create any kind of short-form video content.
Think about how you scroll through your phone, right? Sound is usually off, and that's the reality for most people today. If you're not using captions, you're basically invisible. Your message is just gone. Captions aren't just for accessibility anymore. They're an essential engagement tool that makes your content so much harder to just scroll past.
And the best part? It's ridiculously easy to do. In Google Vids, the tool just automatically generates a transcript for you. You just give it a quick edit for accuracy, pick an animated style that really grabs attention, and then just drag it wherever you want on your video. It's a simple little process to make your content impossible to ignore. Okay, so we've got the quick win down. Now let's level up from a simple feature to a more strategic, creative task, like, say, refreshing your business's story for the new year.
We've all been there, right? Staring at a blinking cursor, writer's block. So instead of that, you can use Google's NotebookLM. Think of it like this. You're feeding the AI the raw ingredients of your business, your website, your latest strategy, and maybe most importantly, what your actual customers are saying in their reviews.
And this is where the real magic happens. It's all in the prompt. You're not just asking for a summary. You're telling the AI to put on a journalist's hat and create a compelling interview. This turns all that raw data into a fresh, updated story that highlights your company's strengths, ready to go for your website or social media.
All right, we've talked about creating content. Now let's flip the script and talk about analyzing it. This is all about using AI as a partner to help you figure out what's real and what's not.
So picture this. You're scrolling YouTube and you find this super polished video called 25 Most Dangerous Women of the Wild West. It looks professional, the pictures feel authentic, but there are zero sources. So is this actual history or is it just entertainment?
This is a perfect job for a tool like Gemini. You literally just paste the video's URL and you get an instant analysis.
If you look at the comparison here, Gemini nails it. It calls the video edutainment, a mix of real facts, some folklore, and a whole lot of sensationalism. It points out the images could just be actors and that there's no way to verify any of the claims. That's AI helping you think more critically. Okay, this is what we've been building up to. We've reached the final stage, the superpower. This is where we combine everything we've just seen to build a custom AI that is a true expert on your world. So, what are we actually building here? The core concept is what's called a living knowledge base, and the key word there is living. It's not a static document. It's an AI that grows and gets smarter every single time you add new information, whether that's a report, a client email, or new market research. So step 1 starts with NotebookLM. You create a project, and you just start uploading all your key documents: competitor analysis, client feedback, internal strategy docs, industry reports. I mean, you can add up to 300 different sources. This becomes the foundation, the brain of your AI. Okay, next up, you build your custom AI assistant in Gemini. Google calls these gems. You should think of it as creating a specialized AI persona. You give it a name and a very specific job to do. You're not just chatting with a generic AI anymore. You're instructing your agency growth strategist or your VC validator. And here it is. This is the moment it all clicks into place. When you link your NotebookLM knowledge base to your custom gem, everything changes. The gem now has access to all of your sources forever. It becomes an expert that is totally grounded in your reality, and it can give you insights that are hyper-specific to your business. And this just opens up so many incredible possibilities. You could build an AI that validates a startup idea by analyzing hundreds of Reddit threads for customer complaints. Or imagine an onboarding assistant that can answer any new hire's question by referencing your company's actual process documents. The potential here is just huge. So you might be thinking, okay, how does this stack up against other tools? Well, as you can see in the table, the key difference is that living aspect. With NotebookLM and GEMS, your sources auto-sync. When you add a new document, the AI brain knows about it instantly. That, plus the massive source limit, makes it a way more powerful and scalable solution for real business use. And there you have it. That's the whole journey. We've gone from a simple, one-click captioning hack all the way to designing and building a personalized AI expert that can literally grow and learn right alongside your business. So, you've gone from just a user to a builder. The question isn't what the tools can do anymore. It's what will you do with them? What custom AI brain are you going to build first? Thanks for watching.
Wow.
Great.
Wow, that was fantastic. Oh my God.
Yeah. Because we're collaborating, our
Yikes.
custom brain will be the
I
three of
guess
us.
what I really wish, though, is that the visuals actually weren't just a slideshow, which is pretty visually.
Yeah.
What I wish, okay, is that it had animated captions on top of it, because that adds enough visual stuff going on to attract people's eyes.
Yeah, that's nice, but I didn't prompt it anything. It's just automated first.
I don't think it can do that. I mean, I think I kind of feel like the video overviews in NotebookLM, they're almost there, but not quite. What it needs to do is export you into Google Vids and let you do some editing just to refine it a little.
For educational purposes, it's perfection. It's excellent because we don't mean to stream it like entertainment, really polished. It's an enterprise we are using, Google Workspace Enterprise. You know, production lines are not beautiful. They are engineer stuff.
I think the graphics are good. I think it just needs something animated, because otherwise people are just watching a slideshow, which I think.
Yeah, but the content is very interesting, and we learn how to move on.
I feel like it's almost there. It's just almost.
I think
not quite.
I think the important thing to remember is that it's trying to get you to embrace a baseline of activity with Notebook, and once you get in on the bottom floor of this, your skill set will advance, and you'll be able to maybe add those animations by using a prompt or whatever. I don't know if that's even possible, but I believe that, the important thing is that you get in and you start using Notebook because you see the power of this thing. It's a brain, as they said, that will assist, that knows you and what you want to do. How it can't get any better than that.
Yeah, I'm focused on the final action that it says, let's try what to do with it. And we have a lot of bricks. I mean, like we have created a lot of tips, and this week we've sent compliment to our newsletter subscribers, a bunch of our PDF files with all the resources and visuals and sources and demonstrations. So we have some work to do, thinking how to recreate our better collaborative brain.
Well, I think, Nina, your use of the word brick is really appropriate because we've taken these smaller specific things and we're building the broader house, for lack of a better term, that will contain everything to help people go forward with this thing called AI, which is huge. And,
like the mountains, the Dolomites.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So, I think one of the things, too much for today's session, but something I think that people should realize is that NotebookLM lets you have prompts. And I just wanted to share real quick, one more time, my screen, and note that over on the side, where it shows you all the different kinds of things you can create, there's a little pencil icon on all of those. If you click the pencil icon, it lets you have a prompt and really specify what it is that you want to create. So it's easy to just click those buttons and have it generate something, but I think the real power is then getting in and being much more specific about what you want it to do.
Yeah.
I guess to me and to Peggy, it's a habit because we are in collaboration in the Google Help centers all the time. So it's become part of how we interact online. But for some people, opening this tool for collaboration at work is a revolution. It's like another universe.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I could see the value being in the help community, having something like NotebookLM available with all sorts of sources that other people have added that you can learn from and then pass on to the customer. Whatever.
It's also if you have a work account and you don't completely understand the instructions, you can copy paste the text and use the flashcards, so you can make it to help to be your own AI assistant. Instead of losing time to wait for someone to explain it to you. Okay, so this was a wonderful session. I liked it a lot. We're learning each time we are together, but with this facilitator, it's much more interesting because we are listening to each other in a different way. We are much more attentive, I think, because it's one place. Is not like documents and slides. It's so much more creative, more analytical. It's not like a spreadsheet. It's something completely new, new experience. So we will add the deep research because it will generate, it will take more time to generate what we wish to achieve with this specific notebook. And it's already February, so we have the schedule lined up. Thank you for being with us today. We have two episodes for our podcast, 3 tips in 10 minutes. And this at the end of February, we are going to discuss, is the artificial intelligence enabled Google Calendar saving you time, or is it not? And Priya Chandra, who is a Google Calendar and Google Workspace expert, will be presenting and discussing this with us. So thank you for watching. Peggy and Bob, if you have any other closing words.
I just wanted to say thanks to the folks in the chat. Jalen says she is still learning her way through NotebookLM, but really likes the options to fine-tune and tweak the prompts and queries. So I think that that's
Nice.
something. Definitely try it if you have not already.
And we didn't ask NotebookLM how to wear the same color with Peggy. So we are on different continents, but we think the AI will never understand how we are connected and how we really collaborate with our hearts. It's an emotional intelligence. It's not a machine. Thank you for watching, and see you
That's
next
right.
time.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Have a great day.